time for a fresh approach and a new perspective, and find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, presented by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank. They care as much about your money as you do. Great Southern Bank, understanding where it really matters. Member FDIC. Also presented by the Bank of Billings. The Bank of Billings with 2 locations, one at Billings and in Marionville as well, the oldest bank in Christian County. It's time for our Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks Athletes of the Week, presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. And we bring to the show the Class II baseball state champion, Iberia Rangers, and head coach Tim Vinson. Coach, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Coach, kind of put a little bow on the season, so to speak. I mean, you finished 28-0. Talk about the season as you look back on it, some of the high points.
Yeah, it really was a special season. Get these guys. You're blessed to work with a great group of athletes that you know they're talented, but they're also fun to hang out with. They're fun to be around, and that says a lot about them.
Coming into this season, obviously a year ago, you lose in the quarterfinals to an Ash Grove team that kind of ran the table like you did this year, and they went undefeated. You know, coming into this season, what did you have to replace that you lost to graduation, and who maybe stepped up and filled some of those roles?
We lost our center fielder and we lost our first baseman, and they were big parts of our offense. We brought back a lot of our pitching. But, you know, those are some big bats that we had to replace, and defensively we had to move some things around, but we adjusted and played well throughout the season.
As you look back just on your schedule this year, you had a few close games, but your ability to not give up runs this season. You only gave up a run and a half a game, so your ERA was outstanding. Talk about that pitching staff.
The pitching staff's been awesome. It's been phenomenal. That's what kept us in every ball game this year. And you know, from 1 through 6, wherever they're at in our rotation, we know we got guys we can put up on the mound that are going to give us a chance. They're not going to score a lot of runs, and we just have to figure out offensively how we're going to push a couple across the plate. And once we get a couple, we feel pretty comfortable. And a lot of that credit goes to our assistant coach, Kyle Blankenship. He's our pitching guy. He does all the calling. We got a lot of trust in him, and our guys trust him with the pitches that he calls, and it just works out really well.
As you look at going into districts, you know, talk about that district a little bit, and what were some of the challenges there? You had a couple of close games in that district, and then on into the sectionals and quarterfinals and the semis. Talk about that run in the playoffs.
It was a huge help to have it at home. You know, we felt comfortable there. We got rain that pushed it around a little bit. We knew Hartville was probably better than what their record showed, and we knew we were going to be challenged. They're well coached. They had a lot of good athletes on their team. They had a really deep run in basketball. They had a really successful year in basketball. We knew they were going to be athletes. So we came out. We had to be prepared that game. I thought that was a big one we needed to get through, and then, you know, on down through there, we had Vienna was in the district championship game, and the same thing. We knew that they had some athletes, they could swing the bat really well, and they were going to be well coached, and you know, we couldn't take any pitch for granted, just one at a time all the way through. And then we went down for the sectional down to Bakersfield. It was a long drive and bus ride, and that was a concern when we got there, but they adjusted. They got off the bus ready to play. Got to swing the bat and move around a little bit before the game, and you know, it ended up being a pretty close game, which we thought would be that way. Everybody had talked that they were a really good ball team. They were really athletic, and they were going to bring us a game, and they did. And then we went to Galena and played them. They had some big bats in their lineup too that we kind of had to stay away from and make sure we focused spotted our locations for all of our pitches. And on through there, we had the first round against Tipton. They were a familiar opponent that we played earlier in the year, but we were fortunate enough to beat them early in the year, but it was at the end of March. So, we knew not to take them for granted. We knew how talented they were. We knew how well coached they were. And then we finished it up at the end with Maysville, and we watched them play a couple games, and we saw the way they swung the bat and the way they fielded the ball and the way they ran through. And we knew we had to come out with our best game, and I think we got down to the Final Four and played our two best games of the year, and it was really exciting. It was a really, really fun time for all of us.
Outstanding. And you go in, you've got Tipton there. I actually called that game. And I know Tanner's alongside there, and he actually threw that game, Tanner Patterson. And Tanner, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
I am good. First off, on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol, congratulations for being part, you and your teammates, your entire team, for being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us, you get the call. You're facing Tipton. Did you throw against them in the first time that you played them back in March?
Yes, I did.
What? And I've lost your audio here. Just hang on just a second. This is on my end probably. But anyway, again, we're visiting with Chevrolet of the Ozarks, athletes, Iberia Rangers. And we're visiting with Tanner Patterson, who got through that semifinal game. And what do you do? How are you getting prepared, knowing that you're going to get the ball there on the 27th in that semifinal game? What are you doing throughout the day to kind of get mentally and physically prepared?
Most of the time I just think about where I'm going to be throwing, and I just look at the team and see where all their good hits are and make sure to listen to the coach and see what he's followed up on them and how he thinks they hit. And then I just really listen to where he says to hit spots at and what pitches to throw, and just really rely on him to call the game.
Tell us a little bit. You strike out, I believe, 7 of the first 9 batters in the game. You're kind of cruising, and typically you get a lot of strikeouts, and that starts running your pitch count up. But tell us what was really working well for you in that game. I noticed you threw a lot of off-speed stuff, especially to the left-handed hitters. Was that a pitch you were comfortable with, and was that on purpose, by design?
Yeah, typically with left-handed pitchers, coach likes to throw off speed to them because it cuts from into them and out, and it just really works well with how I throw it. And most time they aren't able to hit it, and it just works really well.
Yeah. What were your thoughts? What are you thinking about in that semifinal game? You get to the 7th inning. You've got a 5-1 lead. You get a little buffer, get a couple runs there late, I believe, in the top of the 7th. What are you thinking when you take the mound and when that last out? What's going through your mind?
I'm just thinking about how we played the whole game, and just thinking about how we're going to get through the next game and what we need to change and get better on, and just help us out to play better and keep continuing on.
And then what was your role in the championship game against Maysville? Obviously, you weren't a pitcher, but where did you play, and what was your role in that game?
I played center field, and it was a pretty big deal out there. They had some pretty good hitters out there, so we had to control the outfield out there when they were hitting the ball out there. And then in the lineup, I hit 2-hole, so I just made sure when our leadoff Noah got on that I would bunt him around to get him into scoring position so Logan could hit him in, or even our cleanup Hunter hit him in if we needed him to.
What was it like playing at that ballpark? Is that the biggest ballpark you've played in this year?
Yeah, it's pretty close to the biggest. I've played at a few in travel ball, a few big ones, but that was by far the nicest one that we've played at. And it's just a nice view of everything and huge crowds.
Again, Tanner, hey, congratulations on the state championship and for being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you.
You bet. I believe Noah Remensnyder is next. And Noah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. tell us a little bit about, and you get to throw the state title game. Tell us about what you're doing to kind of get prepared mentally and physically going against Maysville.
I really just had to control the nerves because it's the biggest game everyone on our team had ever played. And I was, of course, nervous going into it, just thinking about how we were 27-0 going into it, and how much all of us have worked for and how much we all wanted to win. So I just had to stay calm and just trust all my pitches and trust the pitches coach was calling and just trust the defense I had behind me.
Now, did you go the distance in this game?
Yeah, I threw the whole game.
What was it like to get that last out?
Oh, it was awesome. It felt great. Just everything, all the hard work that we've all put in, finally coming all together, and it's just an awesome feeling.
Yeah. Now, where did you play in the first game?
I played second base.
Second base.
Yeah.
So what was it like the next day and since then? I mean, does the food taste better? Does the Coca-Cola taste better now that you've got that state championship?
Yeah, just about everything's better. I mean, I've been riding high since that day, so everything's just better.
What was now, Noah? You're a senior.
No, I'm going into my senior year.
Going into your senior year. Outstanding. What was the town's response when you guys rolled back into town?
Oh, it was awesome. Everyone was there. A few people had their shirts off. Everyone was going nuts. It was a cool feeling.
Yeah. Now, are you guys out of school?
Yeah, we're out of school.
So that's the only thing that's bad. It's always good when you're state champion to go back and walk the halls the next day. It's cool.
Yeah, that'd have been a good feeling. It'd have been nice if we had like one day to go back, but
yeah. Very good. Well, Noah, congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
And then Logan Seal, and did you catch both games?
Yes, I did.
Now I'm gonna mention, and I think it was your team. Did you throw a ball down to second base between innings that went right over your second baseman's head? Then he didn't see it, didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, it was pretty loud there. I don't think they heard me. I looked up and the ball was going right by his head.
Yeah, it was, and that was Noah, wasn't it?
That was Hunter Piggott.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about your role. You're behind the plate. Obviously, you're calling the pitches, maybe getting some of them from the dugout, or maybe getting all of them from the dugout. But tell us kind of how you get prepared for a game, mentally and physically.
Mentally, I just try not to think about it too much. I have a lot of trust in my pitchers and Coach Kyle Blankenship. Physically, we just hit in the cage. Me and Noah always make sure to hit in the cage first, stretch our arms out real good, and get warmed up.
What was it like playing in that facility? I know you got to go down to Marucci Clubhouse, maybe get a few swings in there as well, but what was it like to play in Ozark, Missouri at Ozark Mountain Sports Complex?
It was pretty cool. It was one of the better stadiums I've ever played in. Everything just felt so much cooler. The ball felt like it was moving faster and everything.
Very good, very good. Now, let's talk a little bit about hitting. When you're standing in the on deck circle, what's going through your mind? What are you trying to key in on a pitcher?
I'm just trying to key up his arm slot and get mentally prepared to get in the box and try to have an approach.
What's it been like for you? Where were you when the last out was made? Was it a strikeout? Did you catch it? Who has the baseball?
I had the baseball. I threw it over the dugout. I'm not sure where that thing went.
All right. Well, what's it been like since you got back in town?
It's been pretty cool. I'm starting to realize that I'll never play a baseball game again. It's been kind of sad, but we were still riding on the high, still talking every day.
So you're a senior. So what plans do you have for next year?
Monday I start work at the fort. I'll be working for Co-USA. That's about all I have planned.
All right. Very good. Well, Logan, hey, congratulations on being part of the Athletes of the Week.
Thank you.
And then Brady Blankenship is alongside. Brady, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Tell us about your roles and responsibility on this team in this Final Four and state championship run.
My role was
playing first. Never try to let a ball get by me. And I tried, focused real hard, and stayed mentally prepared.
What grade are you, Brady?
Senior.
Senior. What's it been like to be on this run as a senior, knowing you're going out the door as a state champion?
It's been great. It's one of the best feelings ever. One heck of a way to go out. Never going to do it with any other team.
If you could get in a time machine and go back to that 11 or 12-year-old Brady Blankenship and give yourself some advice based on what you know right now, what would you go back and tell yourself when you were in that 6th, 7th, 8th grade?
I'd go back and tell myself to slow it down and really take your time and look back and see how it is and really practice on playing baseball. Really play more baseball, what I really did.
How special was it to have your dad on the field when you won the state championship?
It was a great memory. Never forget it. It's one of the best feelings ever to do it with your dad, even though I played with him ever since I was in kindergarten and all the way up to high school. It was a pretty cool thing to happen.
Who was, when you get to your cell phone, who was the first person to text you?
My aunts, my uncles, just everybody that was not there, mainly that watched it on TV.
Yeah. Well, I tell you one thing, there couldn't have been many people not there, because I think Iberia had more fans than anybody else the day I was there.
Yeah, it was a great crowd. It was one of the best feelings to walk out and look up in the crowd and see everything green.
All right. Well, Brady, what are your plans for next year?
My plans probably go into workforce, like go to Gasco Sage Electric Company and do something like that.
Outstanding. Well, Brady, congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet. Now we'll bring in the assistant coach. Here is Kyle Blankenship. And Kyle, how special was this for you? You've been coaching these kids since they were, knee-high to a coon dog.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's something that I dreamed of when we started coaching them. All the way through Little League, they were always top in their division, and I knew that they had talent and they had a chance to pull this off someday. And it's been a dream come true.
Well, who was the first person you heard from when you got back to your cell phone?
I don't even remember. I had so many text messages. I looked at my phone. I don't even remember what the first one was. Everything was just kind of a blur right after the game.
Well, outstanding. Well, how many more of these kids that you've had in Little League are still around? I know there's a couple juniors maybe in that room.
Yeah, mostly I had this senior class, the grade I coached. We kept the same grade all the way through, and it was, the juniors were on a different team. We would play them every other year, but I knew with that group of juniors and this group of seniors, when we put them all together, it was going to be something special.
Outstanding. So which one of these guys was at the bottom of the dog pile after the game?
I think maybe Noah was at the bottom of it.
Very good. Well, Coach Blankenship, to you as well, congratulations. And I know this had to be an exciting run for you and your family.
Oh, yes, it was. It was just, all the support that the family's given us, and it's been amazing. Like Brady said, when we got there and looked up in the stands, you see all the family, and the whole town was there. It was a great feeling.
Very good. Well, gentlemen, and Coach Vinson, I greatly appreciate you helping put this together here on the Missouri Sports Network as part of our Chevy Leaders of the Ozarks Athlete of the Week presented by the Missouri State Highway Patrol. I have one more question for everybody in the room, because I am a mandated reporter. You can just raise your hand. Do you always wear your seatbelts?
Yes.
I do.
All right. Very good. Well, Coach, you can take a little bit of a break now. You got fall baseball coming up. What's your summer plans?
We'll play pretty informal here here in town, and then just kind of schedule some of the area teams come over here and play some games. Sometimes we play over at their place, but pretty informal. Just do some things to keep us in shape, keep us developing. But no, we just want to stick with it a little bit until July, and then we'll take a little break and come back first week of August, second week of August, and get ready to gear up for our fall season.
Outstanding. Well, gentlemen, again, congratulations on behalf of Chevrolet and the Missouri State Highway Patrol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. As always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.
Your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support. For life, great